going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is RyanREAX with another video, and it's basically just going over why flash photography is important, as well as why using a modifier is even more important. Well, no, I lied. There's no, you couldn't get away with having a flash and a modifier, but you can't get away with having a modifier with no flash. But you combine them together and you're gonna get some amazing results. So this is just a basic Explorer 600 on a Flashpoint C stand. Attached to it is a Joby GorillaPod and a GoPro. So stay tuned for another video future. It's a gorgeous shot overall. Love the autumn tones, love the bokeh, the trees, the foreground. It's not evenly lit because of the flash really just hitting nature right here, this grass. But it definitely did its job flashing the subject. You can easily underexpose all this in post. So that's the pro. The pro is you get light. She's lit. But now what's the con? Well, you can see right off the bat, her hand being here, harsh shadow. Extremely transparent. Number two, the main thing is right under her chin. You see that harsh shadow. So for the second shot, oh, and keep in mind, we walked around 20 minutes to get to this spot, and I carried literally all the stuff. She carried partial away the modifier, which you'll see in a few more shots. And she just wasn't feeling the shoot, so I didn't really expect too much for posing or anything. Just let her do her own thing. So yeah, she definitely doesn't look happy. But hey, this is for educational purposes. Same thing with this third one. Got closer, just to really show. Doesn't matter how far away you are. I kept getting closer. If your light source is your light source, it's not going to change anything. In fact, the closer you get, the more unflattering, because more stuff stands out. Although the bokeh is beautiful, the sky, everything is really cool. And then this one, see, each shot shows something. If you just slightly turn your model, it's going to make a more flattering image. Have her turn towards the light source. Although, however, you can kind of see it's still that harsh shadow. Even under here, under her armpit and whatnot. So, I changed angle and actually put on the modifier. Didn't even change the flash settings. It's hard to tell, but since the flash modifier wasn't on, again, this is going to be all lit. But I didn't change any exposure settings. Can you calm down, Addie? Now with the modifier on and me getting even closer, it hides all of the overexposed areas. But everything else is the same. Like if you look at her shirt there and her shirt here, it's the same. But I wanted to do like a more professional looking portrait shot. Just, yeah, her arm's cut. I understand it's not the perfect composition, but again, it's not about, can you turn it down a bit? It's not about the quality of the photos. It's just about the information I'm giving you. So here's a better composition, a little bit more of a pose. I was happier with the light, but you could see right off the bat that although there is flash being used, the modifier really helps by removing the unflattering, unwanted, undesirable shadows. Even under her arm here, you could see there is a shadow, but it's just barely noticeable. Same here, just showing differences by just tweaking your camera angle can make a shot just different. I mean, now you see more of the top, more colors. Same with here, I step back because the modifier is doing its job beautifully. And the bokeh is really cool. Although on this side it looks kind of weird, but it is what it is. Now this is the modifier. I got really far back, and here's proof that it's on. So the top part, because I don't have it directly, like I could have angled it down more, like this, but I wanted to feather it. I didn't want it to be completely blasting, I just wanted it to be feathered. So a lot of the light isn't hitting, it's just going over her head. But it's perfect. But the way you could tell is like her legs are much more underexposed because of how I have the light placement. If I'd have had it lowered, or if I would have brought it back, maybe increased the power output, it'd be more lit, but it's fine. And then this last shot, nothing to do with flash, I just thought it was cool and I ended up flipping it. So yeah. So I'm going to show you a few more things. So this is without flash. Again, I'm not just going to do a tutorial about, well, a demonstration about flash without like giving you the explanation as to why flash is important. Look at the sky. I keep on double clicking because in this, if I double click, it'll go. But with this, you just got to click once. So the bokeh's good. The exposure, a little bit underexposed, but you can literally just raise it. But you gotta watch out for clipping. But I'm not trying to do a Photoshop or Lightroom tutorial. I'm just trying to demonstrate why flash is important. So you can bring up the shadows, which is gonna make her more exposed. But you can see clearly that the background is much more exposed than the subject. Thus making it so everything, when you look at the shot, you're more focused on the clouds, the orange and yellow tones, maybe the water and the reflection down there, etc. Now sure, you can grab a brush tool and then you can make her stand out as I'm demonstrating. Maybe add a little bit of contrast, maybe raise the highlights, the shadows a bit, more contrast. And sure, if you are doing natural light, that's kind of how you'd want to go about it, if you want to capture the elements in the frame. I mean, realistically, here's how it would look if you were to expose for her. So you get a radical filter. We'll just put her in it. The shot would kind of look like that, where you would lose all the details in the background. But then it would make her more. But I exposed for the background, which darkened her. But if we simply use flash, boom. Same exposure. See, look at the settings. Exact same. 100 ISO, 17 millimeters. Sure, it's tilted a little bit. I tilted the camera. F2.8 at 1/3200th of a second. But by simply turning the flash on, you could see the catch light in her eye. And that's another way you could tell. If there's, well, sorry, but either way, her eyes are not lit. But you could see, and then I can lower the highlights, and then she's still more exposed than the background. She's like separated from the background. And this is just one light source other than the natural light from the sun. And then we have, where's the other shot? I think that's with flash. Which one? I just want one of these didn't have flash. Maybe, I know there's a few examples. It might have been over here. I don't even remember. Whatever, you get the point though, you get the idea. And that's her carrying the softbox. She even tried to carry this for a bit, but after 2 steps she's like, nope. So I just picked it up and kept it moving. See, I kind of have it flung over my back. But yeah, flash is definitely important. Oops. So yeah, hopefully that was informative to you. Definitely use flash, learn different flash angles, power outputs, manual camera settings, and definitely use a modifier. And if you're wondering, again, I'm using the Rapid Box XXL. It's like a 63 or 64 inch softbox. It's huge. It's huge. But as always, guys, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.